year now happens to be on 16th of Adar, Tet Adar, the Hilula of a really great rabbi, very much based part of Tiberias. His name was Rabbi Yitzchak Abulafia Z'tl, one of the great rabbis of his time. He was born in the English year 1824 and passed away on the 27th of March in English year 1910. At the time passing, he was approximately 86 years of age. Now, according to another opinion, it says that he was actually born in the year 1839. So two varying opinions of it, 1824, 1829. But be it as may, he was very much a great rabbi. Okay, he would become a great דיין, a judge in Tiberias and in Damascus, respectively, and be the author of the great Torah book, a Shelot and Shul book called the Pnei Yitzchak, which we'll speak about towards the end of the shir. Okay, so it's interesting. He was born, as we said before. Once again, there was varying opinions on the exact dates, whether 1824, 1830, 1839, but he was born in Damascus, it was reported over, and came from great heritage. I think his father's name was Rabbi Moshe Abulafia. He himself happened to be the son of the famous Rabbi Chaim Nisim Abulafia, who was one of the great rabbis of his time. And I believe we actually spoke about him in a separate shir in of itself. Now, we have to point out that I believe it was reported over, actually, that at the time period, the famous Damascus plot incident, unfortunately, I think his father suffered severe torture in that. This is something we've spoken about on various videos before, so I would recommend everyone to look into that exact specific topic in of itself. But he would eventually move to the house of his grandfather in Tiberias, and then I think would actually move to Jerusalem. He would learn in Jerusalem in the yeshiva over there, and I think come up the year 1842. At that point, there was varying opinions. He was appointed, I think, part of the Din in Tiberias, and would actually go back to Tiberias in of itself. So it was very well traveled at that point in time. And in the year 1870, he would become the rabbi of Damascus, respectively, over there. And remember that at that point in time, there was a lot of great rabbis that was very much situated over there, with something we've spoken about on various occasions before. So it become Din over there in the place. And in Damascus, there was issues to grapple with in itself. And he would spend a specific portion of his time over there. I think he corresponded very much with Rav Gagin, another great rabbi we've spoken about before. But then again, he would go from Damascus and return back to Tiberias over there. And he would study with another great rabbi as a chavruta, Rab Avraham Chai ben Amozag, who was, I think, at one stage in time, the rabbi of Tiberias and author of various different books, including the Kana Abraham and various other groups, various other books in of itself. Towards the end of his life, he would return again to Jerusalem and pass away, reported over on the 27th of March in English year 1910. Now, the various different halachic rulings he gave over, as some people and would correspond with in regards to this, especially was in correspondence where other rabbis will actually speak about various different halachic rulings he gave, including was Rav Shlomo Eliezer Alfandari, Rav Yaakov Shaul Elisha, and Rabbi Aaron El Hadif, I think, and various other great rabbis. So I think there was a specific case of a Karaite marrying a Jewish person and whether that was allowed or not, and he had an opinion on that, which I would recommend everyone to look into, and maybe some of the rabbis would oppose, but I would recommend everyone to look at that. Let's look at some of the books he wrote, was including Lev Nishbar, which is based on Pilpulim. I think that was printed actually in Izmir, respectively. Then he did a series of books called the Pnei Yitzchak, and the first chelek was printed in the year Heitash Taf Reish Lamed Aleph, and that was printed in Livorno. I think some years later, Pnei Yitzchak Chelek Bet will be printed also in Livorno. The chalekim of 3 and 4, Gimel and Dalet, will be printed in Izmir. So too will be the 5th volume in Izmir in the year Heitav Reish Nun Chet, and the last chelek was printed in Jerusalem in the year Heitav Reish Samach Gimel. So I'd recommend everyone to look into that book. It's a very, very great book of its time, and many of the great Rav Abulafia families we've spoken about in this series. I believe at various different points of his life, I think early in the late 1850s, early 1860s, he would travel around very much to Tunisia, to Libya, to Algeria over there, and received great respect wherever he would go. And throughout, so that's amazing because he was also working many years in Damascus and in Tiberias and in Jerusalem. And that's interesting. I think just before he passed away, he actually returned to Israel, and that year, and he felt that it could be towards the end of his time in of itself, so he wanted to be back in Israel. And then he passed away, I believe, on Shushan Purim, according to an opinion, it was Tet Zion in the year 1910. We're talking about 115 years ago from time of recording. He was buried, reported over in Tiberias. He was very, very great. And I believe his books would also not just be printed in Livorno and Izmir, also in Aram Tzova. And I believe the last part of his book actually contained sermons, and that was printed in Jerusalem, as we stated before. So please don't forget to light candles in the great rabbi's memory. Friends, we're a community here. We're learning about the great rabbis of yesteryear. Over here, we've spoken about a very famous Rabbi Yitzchak Abulafia, author of the Pnei Yitzchak. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. If you feel anyone's interested in watching these videos, share the videos to other people also. I'll appreciate it. So wishing you well, and a Shavua Tov Umvrach to everyone.